Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Mariana and this is a channel about knitting, crochet, sewing and some other crafts that sometimes I make. We are almost in the end of May. I had plans to record the video sooner. I had plans to record on the beginning of May, but you know, life happened and I didn't get the chance to do it. So in the end of April, I had a knitting retreat. I organized it with some friends and it was very intense and fun. And I had plans to share the experience and the weekend sooner, but it was completely impossible. So I made a short video. It's here in the channel. So if you are curious, you can see some of the moments. It was on a small village in the central area of Portugal. So it is a very beautiful place, and it was a great weekend. Moving on, I have a few finished objects to share with you. In the last episode, I think I talked about this shirt, this top. I was I was knitting this top as this. It's not quite a top. It's like a tee, right? I was knitting the tee as a test knit for a Portuguese designer who is also a friend, and I think I finished it before. Yes, I finished it on the 20 something of April, but as I didn't record earlier, I didn't share it with you sooner. So this is my first finished object of today. This is a babugem top. It's available on Ravelry. It is available in English also. If you are interested in knitting it, you can find it in English. And this is by Nana Oliveira, which is a Portuguese podcaster and designer also. So this is a very simple, but at the same time it's very interesting tee. It has a lace panel. I will show it in a minute, and also the same lace panel on the sleeves. It's short sleeve, and you can choose whether you knit the panel on the front or in the back, or if you want, you can also knit it on both sides. So it's versatile. You can choose how you want to do it. The yarn I used to knit this tee is a pure silk yarn by a Portuguese. I don't know if I have it here, by a Portuguese yarn brand, Rosarios 4. So this is Madragoa. It's not obviously it's not this color, but it is the same yarn. As you can see, this is like just a simple tee. The lace panel on the front, the lace on the sleeve. It's the same lace pattern, both sides. In my case, the back is just plain stockinette stitch, and I think it has a great fit. This pattern has no ribbing, so the neckline, it's like an eyelet border almost, then just a garter edge on the sleeves and on the bottom of the tee. So this was really a really fun knitting. I like it a lot. I'm sure I will wear it many times during our Portuguese summer. It's also a very fresh, if I may say so. It's a light tea, so it's good for really hot days. Moving on, I have two more finished objects. They are both test knits I made for another Portuguese designer. So let me start with a belt. So the second finished object, it's a belt, a knitted belt. So this is how it looks. It has like a texture pattern all the way through, and then it has like a cord and ends with a little tassel and a bead, and then on the opposite side it has the little eyelet for you to just put the cord, and here you go, you have a belt. So I test knitted this pattern for a Portuguese designer called Filipa Carneiro. She has a lot of designs on Ravelry, and she works with Rosarios 4. This is, as I've said, a Portuguese yarn brand. So for these belts I used the yarn Sunset, which is it is cotton, organic cotton, so pure organic cotton, 100% organic cotton, and this is like a bulky weight yarn. It's very soft. It's not one of those heavy hard cottons. This is soft cotton, and it was really a really fun project to knit also. I had plans for this belt because last year I bought a sewing pattern for a dress, like a tired, a dress in tiers, in layers of fabric, and which makes a large, almost oversized dress. And I was planning on making the dress with some old man shirts, so like almost like a patchwork dress with stripes and plain cotton fabric, and probably some checks, but not in heavy colors or heavy patterns. Mostly blues and whites, and eventually a little bit of red, or like dark red, wine red. And I had plans on sewing that dress, and when I saw this belt, I thought it was perfect to pair with the dress. But now I have the belt, but I don't have the dress. I have all I need to sew the dress, except the time for sewing it. So, well, I will. I have a lot of plans, right? So I have also plans to set up like a sewing routine when the girls are on the school break, on holidays. Usually when the school is over, they go spend the holidays with their grandparents, and I have like 1 month and something off. It's my vacations, my holidays, where it's just me and my husband, and it's completely different, right? Because I don't have kids, I don't have to make larger meals. It's just the two of us, so it's I have more time. So I am planning to set up my sewing space here in our collective office, and because they will not be here, I can set all the desks for myself with like sewing stations, and I can leave my work in progress here in this space, and I know it will be safe. No one will be touching it, and so it will be a lot easier for me because I don't have to have to clean up every day, right? So it will be here, and I will be working the little bits of time that I have, and then I go away, I close the door, and all the mess is in here. And when I'm over, then I will clean up all the mess. So usually I cannot do this because they are always around, and I have a desk for myself, but I don't, it's not enough, right? Because I have my sewing machine and I need space to assemble all the pieces, to cut all the pieces, and it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of space, and I need it takes a lot of mental space that I really need. So I am really making plans for this to happen during the month of July. I think they will be with my parents just from the beginning of July, so fingers crossed it will work as I am planning. Next finished object, it's also is also a test knit for the same designer, for Filipa Carneiro. I'm not sure if I've told you this before. Sometimes I like to test knit for designers. I think it's a very important part of the process of designing a pattern. I have made some test knits for Filipa. I like her. I like most of her patterns. I've knitted a few outside the test knits, so I think it's it's worth for you to go see her page, okay, her Reverly store page. So the project I am now showing you, it's a top named Folia, which is like a party in Portuguese, and this is a simple top. This is it's like a cropped top. It's like something more for a teenager probably. So I made it for my teenage daughter, and it's a simple knit. It's a fast knit. It has a lace panel on the side, a simple lace, nothing too complicated. The same on the other side, and then the my God, this is not a stripe. The shoulder strap, it's also in the same lace pattern. So you knit it round until the armhole. Then you knit the front till the top of the stripe, and then you do the same on the back. Simple construction, and very fast and easy and beautiful summer top. So I will put the photo of my girl wearing the Folia top for how it fits. What can I say more about this top? So I used another yarn from Rosarios 4. Most of my yarns today are from Rosarios 4. So this is Bailarico, and Bailarico is 40% cotton, 60% viscose. It's a very soft yarn also. It has a lot of drape, and I really liked it. Okay, where is my sample? So this is not a solid yarn. You can see that it has two shades of blue, and all the colors from this yarn are just like this, with two tones of the same color. So my my finished objects for today are all test knits, and I don't have any more finished object to show you. So now I want to show you what I have on my needles. I have a lot of things because I think I spent most of April knitting this as a test knit, and then I spent most of May knitting the other two projects as test knits. Sorry. So because of that, I had like a cast on frenzy, and I started a lot of, not a lot of, I started two projects that I probably shouldn't have because I still have a sweater to finish, but I really needed to start something new because I had the feeling that I was only knitting tests, and I felt like I had to knit something that I really wanted to knit. So works in progress. Last video I've shown you my Nature's Walk blankets. I had all the squares for the blankets made, and now I started one of the blankets. So I am making 3 blankets, one for each of my girls. I didn't want to choose an order, you know, because I know that they would be jealous of each other if I had picked a place or a blanket to start. And so I made that silly game of the shortest straw, and they all picked one, and the biggest one was the first blanket I would make, and the shortest will be the last blanket I will make. So in order, I will finish my middle girl blanket first, then the youngest, and the last but not the least, the oldest girl will have her blanket made in the end. So at this point I have the blankets completely assembled, so all the squares are properly joined. I love it. I really love it. The girl is also in love with her blankets, so it's a win-win situation. Now I am working on the border. The border, let me pick a place with more contrast for me to show you. Okay, the blanket has a large border, so this is, you can see here three rows of border. The pattern calls for I think it's 8. I ran out of yarn because I thought I could join all the squares and work the border with 300 grams of yarn, and just the joining of the squares alone took me almost 100 grams. So I will have to order more yarn. I am using Charisma by Drops, which is a European yarn. And what else? I well, before I started the border, and because this blanket is really big, it's bigger than the original pattern. Also, because I am using a heavy weight yarn, my squares are a lot bigger than the original ones, so the blanket is really bigger. So I consider not to work the border as the pattern has, but work a simpler border. I thought, well, the blanket is huge, probably it won't need such a big border. But then I went to Ravelry, and I went looking for the projects, the other projects other people have made, and I went through all the photos and realized that the blankets I loved the most were the ones who had the border as the pattern. So I decided to work the pattern as it is, because I have already so much time and money invested in these blankets that I don't want them to be anything other than absolutely perfect. So I will order more yarn, and I will work the border as it is, as the pattern calls for. So now I will start assemble the squares for the second blanket, which I think will probably be my favorite because it has a lot of pinks and purples, and I like pinks and purples, and the girl likes pinks and purples. And I'm really looking forward to see how it will work with all my squares assembled. So it won't be anytime soon, because life is always in the way of our projects, but well, at least I have something to hope for and to dream for, and that's also a part of the process. Next, what else? Okay, I'm working on another blanket. Well, technically I am working on 2 more blankets other than these 3, and other than one that it's My Sophie's Universe, which is a very old whip, so we will not talk about it today. But I am working on 2 other blankets. One of them, I think I had shared with you. It's the Mystical Lanterns blanket by Jenny Crow. I decided to, well, I bought this pattern because I like her patterns a lot, and she was making she was making like a fundraising, and the money she made from the sale of this pattern would go to a charity. So I bought the pattern on that occasion, and I bought it because it was for charity, but also because this is it's a pattern with a lot of pieces, with a lot of colors, because this is like a granny square, and each layer of the granny square has one color, and I had a lot of leftovers in here from the Nature's Walk blankets, and they are not the colors of the 3 blankets are not coordinated, so I had it some more colors, and went like a café theory, and decided that if I would add another 15 colors, it would work just perfectly, and that's what I will do with this blanket. So my plan is My plan is to crochet a blanket, probably an Afghan. I don't know the difference because in Portuguese we just call it like a blanket, and we don't have many words for it. So probably if it's a blanket that will stay on the top of the bed, it has a name, and if it's a blanket that goes like underneath the top layer, it has another name, but it's always a blanket. So I will make it for my bed. Sorry, but it's just that I'm really suffering from my allergies today, and I have like this itchiness on my throat, and it's really difficult to manage while I'm speaking. So my plan is to make this blanket for my bed, not as a spread, but as a really warm blanket. So this is like a long project because because I have other things to do. But it's to work on. Next, I have another blanket from Jenny Crow. So this is a blanket called Sunshine in Showers. This was like a crochet along that started on May of 2022, I think, and ended like in April. And me and some knitting friends sorry, me and some knitting friends are we started the crochet along. I am making this blanket also as a crochet along with some knitting friends, and we started it on May 2023, and we will be working it for an year. So this pattern was released as a monthly with a monthly instruction. So each month you work a little piece of the pattern, and it will take an entire year to finish the blanket. So the first part of the first month, the first part of the blanket are these two stripes. They are folded, so it's a large blanket. It's not that small, but this is my first part. I didn't look at all the monthly instructions, so I'm not sure how we will assemble both parts, but for now I think we will be working two equal stripes, and somewhere along the way we will be joining both together. So so this is also a long time project. I will not finish this project before May of 2024, because I really want to work each instruction on the right month. Probably I think that probably I will have some months that I won't be able to keep up with the pace, but I will try to work each clue at the right time. So this is a long time project. It's a blanket, but it's a long time project blanket. So I'm happy with it. It's almost June, so I will be working on another clue in a very short time. Okay, so no more blankets for now. I will now I will show you the sweater I have been knitting. So this is a pattern by Tia Coleman. So this is the grapefruit pink lady sweater. It's like I'm not sure if this is a sweater because it doesn't have sleeves, but okay. So I'm just at the point where I'm starting to shape the armholes. So I have this is knitted in the round until the armhole, right? So now I'm working the front and shaping the armholes, and then I will move on to the back and do the same. So I am really liking this pattern. This is like a very simple like lace and texture pattern. I am using Portuguese again again Rosários 4 yarn. So this is Bio Bamboo. I'm not using this color, I'm using a light blue. This is Bio Bamboo. This is 100% bamboo. Because it's bamboo, it's very drapey and very soft. There's nothing new to it, but I'm really liking the fabric as it's coming out. So this is a sweater that I hope I can finish soon. It's on my my top priority list, so who knows if I will wear it on my next video. What else can I show you? Okay, so as I was telling you, I had after all these test knits, I really felt the need to start something new, and I knitted a sweater in the winter, which is another pattern by Filipa Carneiro, which is the Ella sweater. It's also available in English, and when I knitted the sweater, I decided to knit a summer version of the sweater. So in Portugal, when we say it's a summer version, usually it's just not about the sleeves, right? So in the northern countries, you see that a lot of summer knittings are still in wool. They might have a short sleeve and might be on a lighter weight yarn, but in Portugal, especially from the center of Portugal to the south, it's impossible to wear wool during the summer months and most of spring and most of autumn. So when we say we will make a summer garment, we are always talking about vegetable fibers, mostly cotton, linen, bamboo, and mixtures of them all. So what can I okay, so as I was saying, I decided to start a new sweater. So this is my summer Ella sweater. This is a sweater. It will be obviously short sleeved. It has a lace panel on the yoke, and then it's just plain stockinette to the bottom. So I am probably in the middle of the yoke, and I am working. I'm knitting this sweater in another Rosários 4 yarn. So this episode should be sponsored by Rosários 4, but it isn't. This is 97% cotton, and then it has 3% metallic polyester. It's just because it has like a stellina, a little metallic sparkles in the yarn. It doesn't. I don't think it adds a lot of noise to the lace. It's very discreet and light, and I think this will make a really great summer sweater. So I love my winter version. I am sure I will love my summer version. And last but not least, what can I show you? So I had a knitting retreat in the end of April, and the ladies suggested that one of the ladies shared a free pattern with the group this past week, and we all liked it and decided to make it on a knit along, and so we are making a knit along of this pattern. I will show you in a minute, but we decided to start this knit along on the 29th of May because it's 1 month mark of our retreat, and it's quite symbolic for us. And we will have this is a shawl. We will have a shawl to show and to share on our next retreat. So this is a pattern by an Italian knitter. This is an Italian summer scarf. It's a very simple shawl pattern. It's all garter stitch and then some rows of just eyelets. It's a very fast knit. This is how my shawl is so far. So let me remind you, we've started this on the 29th, so this is 2 days work. So I knitted this on the 29th and then this yesterday. So 2 days of knitting in here. I had to unravel a little bit a part of this of my work because I had a mistake. But it's very fast to keep up, so no problems there. I am using yet again another Rosários 4 yarn. This is Príncipe Real. This is a blend of cotton, linen and silk. So I'm knitting this on this bright pink shade, and well, it will be a summer scarf. I have one more working project, but it's not knitting. It's an embroidery that I'm making. This is the design I've chose. This will be the back panel of a jacket, a denim jacket. So this is a white denim, and this will be on the back of my jacket. So it's not much for now, but I think it will be great. I'm planning on using a sew over it pattern for this jacket. So this is all of the works that all the projects that I've been working on, and I don't have a lot more to share with you. I just wanted to share a quick acquisition. So this was a book that I forgot to share on the last video. This is a book of patterns by Kate Davis. She usually has an year club, so it started back in September or October, not sure, and it lasted till the end of the year. So I think it were a few weeks, 13 weeks or something, and each week she would publish a pattern, and in the end of the club we could you could choose if you want the digital patterns only, and they would be available on Ravelry, or if you wanted the printed version also. So I chose the knitted so I chose also the printed version of the book, and during the club you would also have a discount on her yarns and her kits, and it was really interesting. So this club was about, the book is called All Over because it's all about color work, but in large portions of the patterns. She also wrote very interesting posts about colors, how to pick colors, how to combine colors, and about colors themselves, the history of some particular shades of colors, and the way the colors are part of our lives and the way they affect us. So it was a very interesting club, and I really recommend you to subscribe the next one. I think you won't be disappointed. So this has some patterns. I really like this one. I hope I will make this one soon enough. Not sure when, but soon enough. And this book has also a cardigan version of the sweater, which is also very, very, very pretty. So if you would like to see a knitted sweater, there's another Portuguese Brazilian podcaster who is living in Canada. She has also a YouTube channel named Fiber Nuts. She also publishes in English and in Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, but she has recently made this sweater and it is amazing. So go check her video. So this was a book that I really forgot to share with you, and I think it's totally worth sharing. So I wish I would have all the time in the world to knit all these amazing patterns, but I hope that in a quite near future I will cast on one of these projects. Okay, so I had planned to share a few more acquisitions. I have been buying more yarn than I can knit. You know how this works. So I did bought yarn for the blankets. I still have to buy some more because I don't have enough yarn to finish the border of the blanket, and yeah, that's oh, and also I'm not sure, but I think I didn't mention this, but when I bought the yarn for the sunshine and showers blanket, I didn't bought the entire amount of yarn that I will be needing. I bought one ball of each color just to see if I like the combo, but because this is like a monthly a monthly clue, I will not need all the yarn at once, so I will be also buying as I will need it. Then what else do I have? Of course, then I had the test knits and I had to buy the yarn for the test knits, and then I started the L sweater and I had to buy the yarn for the sweater, and then I started an Italian summer scarf, and then I had to buy the yarn for that too. So those are already stated acquisitions. But then I bought. I've shown you this one also. Oh God, I bought this yarn to knit another summer sweater by Filipa Carneiro. I think I will be making the tropical sweater with this color. I think it's perfect for the pattern and it's perfect for the summer. Then the other ones were gifted to me, so they are acquisitions because they are new, but they are budget friendly because they were gifts. So what do I have to show you? So the first one is a sock yarn. This is a concept Ava yarn. This is a yarn by Katia, and this is a self-striping sock yarn with amazing soft colors. I like this one a lot. This is one of those yarns that are so pretty that sometimes we we don't feel like using them because they are just so pretty to be looked at. They are almost like a piece of decoration and not a ball of yarn. So I'm not sure if I will be knitting this, but I like to look at it, and probably I will have it somewhere where I can see it a lot of times. So I was also gifted this yarn, this kind of yarn. I think this is also like a sock yarn. I like the colors. I don't know what it is, and the person who gifted it to me couldn't quite trace the origin of the yarn also, but I think it looks like sock yarn. So and it has purple. I like purple, and that one I think I will probably be turning into a pair of socks for myself. So then I have this set of mini skins. So this was also gifted by a friend at the knitting retreat. I like this one a lot. This is like a gradient. So this is like a solid blue, and then it starts to mix with green, but this one has like just one strand of green, this one has two strands of green, this one has three strands of green, this one has four, this one has five, and this is like pure green. So you start adding green and you start removing the blues, and you go from blue to green in this set of mini skeins. So I will ask for your help. I'm not very experienced at knitting patterns that use gradients. So if you can recommend me a pattern that has some color work that works as a gradient, I will be very thankful, because I really don't want this set to be here around for a long time. I really want to turn this one into a project, but I want to find the perfect pattern for it. So if you have any recommendations for me, please just leave them on the comment sections, and I will make sure I will look for your suggestions. So the next and the last is a set of 5 drop saffron cotton yarn. This is like a fingering weight cotton by Drops, and I have 5 balls of 50 grams, and they were gifted to me by a knitting friend as a thank you for a few things that I gifted her. I had a few household things that I didn't need it anymore, and she said she would like to take them. I don't like to sell these kinds of things because I don't know. I think that if things have no use for me any longer, I also try to find someone who can use them, but I don't like to sell things that I have previously used. I like to gift those things to other people. So she wanted it, she needed it, so I gifted the things that I didn't want. And in return, and she didn't have to, of course, but in return she gifted me back these 5 skeins of yarn. So as you can see, and I think we are all in agreement regarding this, knitting friends are the best friends, and the knitting community is a very sweet and empathic community, and nice also. And so no more acquisitions. I just wanted to say that in my last video I had two major plans for the month of May, which was to finish my husband's jacket, which I did not. I just didn't. I think I didn't even touch it. It's still on the shelf. I said I would do it. I said I needed to do it, but I didn't. And I will blame the testknits for it. But I will try my very best to finish the cardigan during this month of June. And because it is a cotton cardigan, I really have to make sure I will finish it, because it will be useful on the colder mornings and in the colder nights. Not quite during the day, but they will be it will be very useful on these colder days. So next, I think I've shown a sweater that I've knitted, I don't know, a few years ago, maybe 2018, probably, not sure, I don't remember. After a test knit, so this is the Elephant Promenade sweater. I test knitted this pattern, so I have a wool version of this sweater, and then I decided to make a cotton version. This is slightly oversized, it's okay, I like the way it fits, but I found that I had a problem in the sleeves, and I think I talked about it on the last episode, and I had one of the sleeves bigger than the other. Okay, so this is it's quite visible. Okay, I'm not I'm not being picky. Okay, so this has a huge difference. So I thought that it was just a problem on the amount of stitches that I've picked for the ribbing of the sleeve, but then I frogged one of the ribbings, and I knitted it again, and I end up having the same difference between the sleeves. And then what I discovered was that I had picked not picked when I sorry, what I've discovered is that I have really more stitch on one sleeve than on the other, meaning that when I finished the yoke and separated the sleeves from the bodice, I didn't checked the right amount of stitches on the sleeves, on both sleeves and on the bodice, and I have a lot more. I think I have more. Not sure if it's 8 or if it's 12 stitches on the sleeve than on the other. And the only way I have to correct that mistake is to unravel all the shirt, all the t-shirt, back to the yoke, and then make sure that I that I separate the right amount of stitches. The thing is, I'm not going to do that. I don't think I have the patience to unravel it and knit it again, because truth being said, if I was going to knit this sweater again, it wouldn't be with these colors. So I will I will frog it. I will use the yarn on something else, and I have plans to knit another sweater with this pattern, another summer version of this sweater. So probably I will look for another drop sale, because I really like some of the, well, I like most of the drops yarns, and I have knitted sweaters with saffron, and I have also used the Love You yarns. They have different numbers according to the weight of the yarn, but I have used it a few times before and I like it. And they also have an extended color card to pick from, so yes, I will probably probably do that. So yeah, it is what it is, and it's there's no point on trying to solve something that it's beyond solving. So it is what it is. I am now looking at the project that I have here, and I'm pretty sure that I haven't talked about it. So I'm going to mess things a little bit and show you one last working project, because I think I haven't yet. So this is a project that I've also talked about on the last video, which is the Woodstock Weekend Top by Drops. So this is a free pattern. You can find it on the Drops website, which is garnstudio.com. This is a top made with granny squares, and I think I had shown all the color combinations that I have made. I have six different color combinations, and this is the work I have so far. So these are granny squares. Each row has one color, so there are 3 colors, and the last one is always white. I started by doing all the first rows of the granny square. I have just these ones left to work the second row, and at this point I have all of this with the second row ready. So as soon as I finish the second row on these ones, I will start the third row, and then the fourth is just in white. And then I have to decide if I will join as I go, or if I will work all the squares separately and then sew all together. So I'm not sure which one will be my method, but I will decide it in a near future. So I think it's all for today. I have been talking a lot. I hope you have enjoyed this time here with me. I hope to see you around on my social media and on the comment section, and of course in the next videos also. So be happy, knit a lot, do what makes you happy and comfortable, and we will see you I will see you on the next video. Bye.